Trudie Mason sitting in again for Aaron Rand as his vacation continues today. Very pleased to welcome to CJAD 800 a woman who has made a lot of headlines politically over the last few months, the independent MNA for Saint-Laurent riding, Marwah Rizqy. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We are hearing from you now in part because of an open letter that you published about infertility and whether infertility treatment should be covered by Medicare. And I am going to get into that. But first, I want to ask you about how you see the balance of your term unfolding. Now, CJAD 800 listeners will recall that the Liberal Party decided to set you out of the caucus after you flagged what you said was some worrisome goings-on with one of the Liberal Party's employees, a top-ranking bureaucrat at the National Assembly. Do you feel that you will be able to continue to make change and to continue to advocate for your constituents, even though the party has indicated you will not be rejoining caucus before the fall election?
Well, that's a very good question. I truly believe I'm still a very good MNA. I did publish a letter that speaks a lot, and that was a very good conversation about infertility, and I know we're going to get into it in a few minutes. But even this week, I was in my riding in Saint-Laurent with Concertation Femmes, which is like an organism that helps women advocate for women's rights, and they surprised me with a prize for my integrity. And they wanted to tell me thank you for everything that I've done in the past 7 years and a half as an MNA of Saint-Laurent. And my mandate will terminate in October 5th. But until the very end, people that do know me, I will give my 100%, not only in my riding, but also the National Assembly.
Do you regret anything about the way the last number of months have unfolded?
Like I said, I'm at peace not only with myself, I'm at peace with every action that I did take because I was forced to take them. And for the rest, it's not up to me. And I did keep silence for not only because for the reason that I've been sued for defamation for $500,000, but also because there's 3 ongoing investigations, and I do believe in our institution, and hopefully people will have more answers at the end of those investigations.
Let's talk about the open letter you wrote about infertility. You're advocating for the public to be more open about Medicare coverage for infertility treatment. What personal experience have you had with this?
My 2 babies we were capable to have them because of the IVF treatments. We were treated at McGill, the CUSUM, and we could afford to pay for all the treatment because right now only one treatment is covered by Medicare. But unfortunately, for a lot of people, for a lot of women, it takes more than one treatment. And just to give you an idea, to have one complete IVF treatment, it's about $10,000. So I look to myself and other friends, everyone's about like $10,000 to $40,000 just to try to finally to have one baby. And Ms. Mason, for the last 25 years, there was like kind of a yo-yo about how we treated that disease because infertility is considered in Quebec's law a disease. But even though it's considered a disease, it's one of the very rare diseases that you have to give your credit card to receive a treatment. But for the last 25 years, the yo-yo was it was not covered. Then we did have a tax credit. Then we had 3 treatment covered, and then no more treatment covered. Back to a tax credit to now having 1 treatment covered. So I'm just a little bit tired and fed up about the yo-yo, and I'm like, why is that treatment covered or not, only under the goodwill of a politician or the government in place? We should have this conversation settled and saying this is a disease, and we're gonna make sure that every couple who wants to have a baby they will get the treatment that they deserve. And I truly believe that we can afford the treatments in Quebec. Just to give you an idea about the budget, right now in Quebec, we only invest less than 1% of the health budget into infertility treatment. And I don't know if you checked the birth rate that we have in Quebec recently.
That is certainly an issue. It's at a record low.
Yes, so 2 years back to back, we having a record low. Last year it was 1.38, and this year is 1.33. It's very low, and a lot of women want to have a baby, and some of them, for different reasons, are suffering infertility. And I think we should fix that problem. And I know other people will also say yes, but there's also, because I read all the comments on my Facebook and on my emails, and some other are telling me, yes, but the younger generation, they have to postpone their dream because of the cost of living. So I think it's time for us in Quebec to have a real discussion about this young generation who can afford not only to buy a house or neither to have a baby. I think this is a serious issue, not only here in Quebec, but I also check what is going on in France, and they have like something they call a réarmement démographique, and they not only IVF treatments are covered up to 4 treatments, but they also make sure that if you want to keep, like for myself, I did study for all my 20s. I was in school during my 20s until my PhD was completed. But in France, if you want to freeze your embryos, it is actually free. Here, it's about $5,000.
Do you advocate no cap then on the number of treatments, no capping it at 3 as it used to be, or capping it at 4 as you mentioned in France?
I think we should have at least 3 to 4 covered, and I think the cap should be discussed only between myself and my doctor. Because if, for instance, my doctor thinks, despite I'm right now 40 years old, I'm going to be turning 41 years old, and he thinks that I can try for a 5th treatment and I'm capable of, this conversation should be only discussed with your doctor, not with the states. And friends, because here in Quebec, also I should mention the IVF treatment is only covered if you're younger than 41 years old. In France, it's if you're younger than 45 years old. For the both CAPE, the number of treatment, and also the age of the woman, I think it's only the doctor and the patient who should decide if they can go forward with the treatment. If they have like a successful rate and the doctor considers that it's good and you're healthy, you can do it. I don't think the state should be saying no to a woman who wants to have a baby and who's capable of.
How confident are you that you will be able to convince the CAQ before the end of the term?
Well, right now I did receive support from the Parti Conservateur. I did receive also from the PQ. I did receive a former colleague of the Liberal Party who wrote me messages that they support that case. But also I noticed that the members of the CAQ vote in public that they're supporting what I was advocating. So I'm going to have a question next week, my first question as an independent, and it will be on that. And hopefully I will have an answer. Maybe I can come back on CJAD and see to you if yes or no they're going to support and maybe add this on the budget.
Well, we will certainly welcome that if that is what transpires. Marwah Rizqy, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Marwah Rizqy is the independent MNA for Saint-Laurent riding.
The newest tracks. Let's go. New music. And the next big thing.
Always on the new music first.
Your first place to hear it all.
'Cause you gon' like it, love it, wanna play it twice. Playing now.
iHeart New Music. Your digital station for brand new drops, fresh finds, and tomorrow's bangers.
I think we need something new.
Discover iHeart New Music. Always fresh, always first. Stream now on the free iHeartRadio app.